Banana Time! Welcome to Banana Time with your host, Elyse Iovino and Mark Bizzy Smith.
Well, hello. Welcome back to Banana Time. Okay, Bizzy, starting with a little bit of a quiz for you. Do you know what flavor Twinkies cream was originally?
I actually do have the answer to this.
No, you don't.
Yeah, I do.
There's no way.
Linda Shank provided me with the information.
Linda Shank being Bizzy's mom. Shout out to Linda.
She saw it on a game show. I can't recall which one, but she saw it on a game show. And she asked me that question. And I was like, oh, vanilla? I don't know, cream. And she said, no, it was originally banana cream.
Banana, which is why I brought it up, because it's our banana time fact, our banana fact for the day. But yes, it was originally a banana cream. Interestingly enough, do you know why?
Oh, well, yeah, I actually do know why.
I know why, but I'm going to test you. Let's see, because I researched this. But if you know why, please share with the group.
Well, from my understanding, is that they changed it from banana to, I guess, vanilla. Do we want to call that vanilla? Whatever the cream is.
It is vanilla, yes.
To because there was rationing of bananas during World War II.
Mm-hmm. That is correct. Banana shortage. But then they never went back.
Never went back.
When
do we get our Twinkie banana cream recap? Does that happen? Bring it back.
Well, this was before our time. So I guess, does Linda miss the original Twinkie? Is her nostalgia ruined?
Well, I mean, my mom was born in the 50s.
Okay. Not Linda.
Yeah, no. I
but
don't think she would have.
Those before Linda, I guess that would have been our grandparents.
Yes, yeah.
I'll have to ask my grandma if
Grandma will know.
Grandma would know. I'll ask Grandma if she remembers.
She had a banana. Maybe she had a banana.
Maybe she had a banana
cream Twinkie.
Maybe she did. Maybe she misses it. All right, so we'll check in with the grandparents. Now, speaking of Twinkies and other snack foods, back to, I think it was our pilot episode, a shout out to Matt, who commented, sent you a message.
My high school buddy, the first person that introduced me to Dungeons and Dragons, might I add, Matt Elliott. Big shout out. Good dude. So
he has a theory of why the foods from our childhood do not taste the same as they did before. And I think he's onto something. He claims it's because there used to be trans fats and now they're banned. So especially in snack foods like Cheetos and things like Twinkies, anything that was packaged or processed, I guess it used to taste way, way better and be a whole lot crispier because of trans fats, which that makes sense. I mean, apparently they made things taste better, last longer, and have better texture. But they were eventually banned because apparently they just raised bad cholesterol, decreased good cholesterol, and increased heart disease. So it must have been literally that bad where the FDA was literally, we have to ban this. It's that unhealthy. They won't ban cigarettes, but they will ban trans fats.
I was just about to say, if the FDA is stepping in, you know that it's just poison.
That must be real, real bad. Yeah. So childhood was delicious but dangerous.
Sure was.
It started making me think about maybe the theme for this episode, which is kind of these invisible forces. Oh. Because in some ways, trans fats really was this invisible thing. I mean, I guess maybe we would have read the ingredients, but we wouldn't have known. But it really was conditioning our taste buds. And now just things don't taste as good, I guess. Or at least the snack foods. Matt Elliott remembers. He says, I think his particular things was barbecue Fritos just do not taste the same. They are just not as good. So yeah, it's kind of crazy because it's something invisible was affecting us this whole time. And that got me thinking a little bit. Because you sent me a reel from Daryl Anka about guardian angels.
Oh, yeah.
That claiming that we all have guardian angels, which would kind of be this invisible force. But it also just made me think, and I feel like we just should touch on the movie Good Fortune with Keanu Reeves and Seth Rogen, because we did watch that recently. And I was like, guardian angels. So what is your banana rating of that movie?
I enjoyed that film. I'll give it 7 bananas out of 10.
7 bananas. That's pretty good.
It's pretty good.
That's
What do you
that's
want out of
pretty
a
good.
comedy? It made me laugh a couple times, you know. I mean,
I thought it.
that's what a comedy should do. If you laugh 3 to 4 times during a comedy, it did its job.
Wait, three. If you only laugh 3 to 4 times during a comedy, that's enough.
Yeah,
I
that's an
kind of want
hour
to
and a
laugh
half.
more than
Most
3 to 4
comedies are
times.
hour 20 to hour and 45 minutes. I mean, what are you looking for? The comedy to change your life every time you sit down and watch one? I mean, no, come
Not
on. You
change
got to
your
be
life, but you're
realistic.
saying
I think people are unrealistic with their expectations of what movies should do for them. You know.
interesting. I mean, I'm looking for a movie to entertain me.
Mm-hmm.
If it's a comedy, I guess make me laugh. I'm happy if it makes me laugh, but I'm just surprised that you're saying you basically just to average one laugh every 30 minutes for it to be a good comedy.
Yeah,
And this is like a laugh out loud laugh,
sure.
or like you're not just like chuckling like, "Huh, that's funny."
No,
It's
you
like it
should be
has to be like,
chuckling. You should be chuckling pretty consistently. But
okay, so
I
you're
mean,
talking about like a
a real
laugh
laugh,
out,
right?
a real laugh. Okay. I enjoyed the movie. But back to the Guardian Angels, I just thought it was really, I actually thought it was cute how they positioned Keanu Reeves because he was like the car guardian angel that was making
Yeah,
sure people weren't like texting and driving and getting
he
in accidents.
he was the budget guardian angel. Basically, there was like all these rock star guardian angels doing all these amazing things, and he was the one like telling people to stop texting at the last minute. Stop texting while they're driving at the last minute. That was
But
his
don't you
job.
feel like that's one of the most practical things that people need help with these days? I mean,
Sure. Yeah. He
not being
saved me a
distracted
couple
when you're
times.
driving, right? Not being distracted while you're driving. I mean, car accidents are like kind of a pretty high statistic rate of injury or death. So, I mean, the car guardian angel is not to be underrated here.
Yeah,
Should be
true.
honored. But, you know, really speaking about guardian angels, though, he's invisible, I guess, your spirit team that helps you.
Hmm.
I personally believe in a spirit team. I believe we have guardian angels that are definitely helping us all the time and are around us.
Yeah. I mean, Daryl Anka said that each person has 2 to 3 working guides at all times.
Hmm.
And these are considered your birth angels. So they stay with you for your entire life until you're ready to leave or until you have fulfilled your
Purpose.
right. So we
Have
all have a spirit team.
Yeah, I truly believe we all have a spirit team. I mean, in my line of work, I'm always working with spirit, and believe there's a spirit team. Have you had any encounters or you feel like you've had a guardian angel help you that you can remember?
I was born dead.
Describe that, please.
I was born with an umbilical cord, I guess, like wrapped around me somehow, and I came out like in a weird angle. So I came out and I was a blue baby. I was dead, and they had to resuscitate me. And from things that I've watched and things that I've come to understand over the years, is that people that have crossed over, that have had that moment of going to the other side, or like passing away and coming back. Someone that comes to my mind that has talked about it a lot recently on talk shows is Jeremy Renner, where he
Mm,
was smashed and destroyed by some sort of snowplow. From my understanding, he was ripped to pieces, and I don't know how they put this man back together. Like they must have cloned him from what I understand about the accident. But anyway, I mean, even he has been saying things in the mainstream like the other side's so beautiful. I didn't even want to come back, but I had to come back
mm.
to fulfill what I'm here for. And I can't say that, I remember things like that, but through my life, I feel like I've been open to have entities show themselves or express themselves to me in some way, shape, or form. So I think it opens up your gateway to some sort of understanding or some sort of communication.
Wow, that's super powerful. I mean, we do know that you say that you encounter quite a lot of spirits in your house, which, from what I understand, is pretty old.
This house is a colonial house. There's definitely spirits that live here. There's like a young child spirit here. There's an older man, an angrier spirit here. And my grandmother also passed away here, and I like to believe that she checks in on us.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure.
But the weird thing about this house is the upstairs attic. There's like a kid's playroom, and it's a small, like kind of like clubhousey build. It looks like, so a kid could go up there and play. But the weird thing to me was always that there was a lock on the outside of it, which just gives me weird vibes,
That is
right?
creepy.
Sort of creepy.
That is
But
super creepy.
things will happen in this house, like, and I mean, yes, you could say it's the wiring, or the old electricity wiring running through the house, but there's like flickering lights and times that just seem too, too, like, too scripted, right? And there's times where it's like I'll be downstairs and I'll hear someone walk across the top, and I'm like, there ain't nobody up there. I know for a fact, I'm living on the second floor. So when I'm downstairs visiting my mom, I'm like, is did you hear that? And she'll shrug it off like, well, it's an old house and the wind's blowing. I'm like, no, those were footsteps. So, you can take it as you want, but I want to take it as I've heard, seen, and experienced things that I cannot
Mm,
explain.
that is quite the energy you're living in. I know I've been on the phone with you and heard it multiple times. We're like, did you hear that? I'm like, I heard it. I also have a little bit of a guardian angel story. It's one of the stories that my mom, actually my grandma, like my whole side of that family tell about my aunt Bonnie. And they were all there to see it. My mom, my grandma, and my aunt Randy, who's her twin, all swear to this. But they were like, I guess they were walking down the street, and my aunt Bonnie, for whatever reason, started crossing the street, and there was a car that literally just started coming down the road super fast at my aunt, and they all literally swear to this day that they saw my aunt levitate literally off the street, and the car like passed under her and then put back down. Each individual one of them has even told me that story separately.
We're also, just to let people out there know, these women that she's referring to aren't like, they're not necessarily like me and Elyse. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, we kind of believe and think and experience different weird things and entities and spiritual
I mean,
awakenings of sorts.
I work in the spiritual realm. I work with energy. So it's something that I'm very comfortable with and have a deep belief with. My family, they're not disbelievers. I actually feel like I get a lot of my psychic abilities from my mom's side of the
Well, I
family.
mean, I guess what I'm saying is they're not traveling gypsies, right? It's
No,
not
they're
like
not traveling gypsies,
they're
but
not like
I will say my Aunt Randy experiences probably more physical mediumship than I do. Like you're saying you really connect with, and like energies, they show themselves to you. My Aunt Randy definitely gets shown. I mean, she had a whole conversation with my grandfather that was passed away with there was a light that he was communicating with. And my Uncle Kevin, her husband, he's definitely not in this realm. Right? Like he won't talk against it, but he's not someone that's super open to it. And he was like, I was there, it was crazy.
wow.
There's also a video from my Aunt Randy of her house where literally, because she's told me all the time and has asked me to even like help and feel the energy in her house because she feels like there's so many presences there. And they were actually out of town, and there we have like they have the ring cameras inside that detects motion, and she got an alert on her ring camera, and I have this video. We should somehow post it one of these days, or if I can post it. But literally you can see multiple orbs fly across that ring camera. It's like undeniable. I've literally never seen anything like it.
Hmm.
That literally set off the ring camera. And like you could maybe say like, oh, it could have been light reflecting off something. They really do not live on a street where you could really have cars pass the way that their house is. And even then, the way that the lights go, it's like you could see that it's orbs moving.
I mean, just so people out there know, if you have, say you have a house and it needs cleansed, or you have maybe some sort of spirit or visitor entity in your house, you could always contact our Elyse Iovino, and she actually does I mean, could you speak on that? You have cleansed spaces before.
I've cleansed spaces before. I will just say that everyone could also cleanse their space pretty simply. I mean, you need some tools. You're basically going to burn Epsom salt in safely in a pan. Make sure your fire alarms are turned off, your windows are open, but everybody can really like easily kind of clear their space. But yes, I've done some clearings. I've done some energy clearings.
Yeah. Have you ever had an experience doing that where that you felt like the entity was there when you were doing this, and then maybe it had left afterwards?
I did one recently when I was traveling, and it was interesting because when I was in like the one I did most recently, because it's not what I do the most commonly, but the one I did recently, I could feel a presence in the room. It felt actually very childlike, and then it felt like there was almost like a older spirit energy, like I'd say maybe like a grandparent or something that was there. They felt very friendly. They just felt very energetic. But I particularly kept getting a child. And I didn't really know anything about these people. They were a friend of a friend, and so I didn't really know anything about them going in. Just the daughter was having a hard time sleeping in her room. But I really felt like a friendly energy, right? I actually felt like they were trying to connect with her because I could feel that she had the ability to connect. And then when I talked to her about it after, and I was talking to her parents, I found out that she had lost a brother. And I really actually felt that it was, that's what I'm saying. I really felt like there was an energy that was actually just trying to kind of connect with her, like play with her. And he was young when he passed. In that sense, like I didn't really feel like the energy itself leave because in that sense, like we weren't necessarily, like it wasn't really meant to leave, but it was more for her to be able to open up to what was happening and feel comfortable with it.
Tough decision there, huh?
You have to say, I mean, the energy will do what the energy wants to do,
To
right?
chase the
So,
childlike spirit away, that's tough decision, right?
well, when I'm working with energy, I'm not necessarily being like, I'm more, I'm more feeling into what the energy is, and I'm either helping the energy, like, I'm helping the energy find more peace, right? So, in some ways, like, if they're taking over a space and there's not a lot of peace, they're usually uncomfortable in that space. That's what would be happening there. But in this case, like I told her, it wasn't even necessarily the room itself. It was actually the energy was connected to her. She just felt it more when she was alone. It was also an old building, so I do feel like there was probably some energies. I felt like the older energy and a couple of the other energies were just like from the building or from that energy and the way that her room was just kind of getting trapped there. So I feel like that energy cleared, but I had really felt like the energy she felt most active was someone actually just connected to her. It wasn't even like in the room itself, it was connected to her. So you'll kind of uncover those things if you're just very open to the energy and just kind of listening to what's there.
Sometimes people want to be skeptics and be like, well, why does it happen when there's other people around? Well, it's because when you're alone, your focuses are more there. Like you're more aware. There's less happening. There's less distractions. So I mean, those things may be happening when other people are around, but you're less likely to notice them because you might just automatically write it off as, oh, that noise was just the person in the other room, or it was just the knocking was like somebody outside, or kind of write it off. But if you're alone in the right moment and it happens and you catch it and it's like, oh, and it kind of like, the light bulb goes off, right?
hmm I mean, again, a lot of it is your awareness, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when you're most open to it. And so someone could be experiencing something because they're more open, aware, more sensitive to that. And someone else right next to them at the same time may not be. There's also like physical mediumship does take and need energy from the spirit itself. So, physical mediumship, when you literally see lights flicker or things move, that takes an incredible amount of energy, not only from the spirit, but from someone who's also channeling or being like a anchor for the spirit, right? So, somebody who is more open to energy and spirits want to communicate, could work through someone. So, for example, like maybe there's a place where there's a lot of energetic sensitivity, but some people who are just maybe not as open to it, who are not as sensitive. And I will say, most of the time, if somebody wants to develop those skills and become open to it, you can, right? Like, I don't think there's some people are just more naturally opened. For example, you said you've had experience
Everyone has the ability.
if they want it. Everyone also has the ability to potentially shut it down. Some people, like I know there are some people that don't, where like they're very sensitive and it could be a lot and they don't necessarily know how to shut it down. And there's ways to kind of maybe tamper that energy or work with it. But for someone like you, you've had a near death experience, even if it was when you were very young. So your sensitivity, your awareness of the other realm, being a human in a physical form is more open. It's like you said, that gate's open. So you could be a conduit for people who are around you to experience more of that physical mediumship because spirit's working through you. And you are participating in that energetic transfer of being able to have their energy become physical.
The closed-minded can never be the open-minded, and the open-minded wish sometimes to be the closed-minded, but just can't.
That's beautifully put. Yeah, that's beautifully put. It so yeah, these invisible forces that again with some people, they're not as invisible, right?
Right. You know what else? You know what else is invisible?
What?
Apparently, Finland has come up with a way to move electricity without using wires. Now, they haven't done this on a large scale, so it's not like the whole city just has free electricity running everywhere. But apparently, some Finland scientists have figured out a way to move power through the air. So this is being done with sound, light, radio waves, I guess, in some way, shape, or form. But it's pretty insane, when you think like electricity could move through the air from this conductor to turn on this light bulb with no bulb, with no wire. I mean, sorry.
So now, obviously, that I guess that would be more resourceful, right? Like you don't have to, and it could bring electricity to all places in the world that would be more remote, where you don't have to put up electrical wires or.
Yeah, and I think it also just shows you the power of energy. Like just because you can't see it does not mean it doesn't exist. I mean, tell the average human, tell me how electricity works. You can't tell me. You just know that you flick the switch and the light comes on.
Well, I know it goes through the wires, like the
Well,
electrical
thank you very
wires.
much,
And the
scientist.
plugs, like I gotta plug it in. And I think there's like those things we learned in school where we put like lemons and stuff together and went, I don't know. But yes, it's still to me that's invisible, but we also had physical ways of actually seeing that something was conducting it. But this is pretty interesting. Okay, I have to ask a dumb question though.
Oh,
If the energy is like, okay, so like if I went and like touched an electrical wire that wasn't protected, I get like electrocuted. But like if the electricity is going through air, if I'm in the
oh
middle of
no.
it, can I get
I don't know. Who knows?
I'd
I I mean this is
have to imagine
brand new technology. I don't
there's
know.
I'd have to imagine the answer is no
You're
because
telling me like ray guns are about to be a real thing. We're about to have like a, electricity shooting out of some sort of laser gun or something.
what I would imagine it's not so concentrated, so it's almost like
Jeez.
probably like Wi-Fi. Like Wi-Fi or Bluetooth doesn't electrocute us, that's invisible. So I'm assuming this
Oh my
electricity is
gosh.
very much like Wi-Fi. But what you are speaking to is if we have the ability to harness energy like that, then maybe you could have ray guns.
Yeah,
How
well,
could
yeah.
ray guns also not exist already? I mean, for me, I just have to imagine that, like, if we wanted to create it, we could create it. Like, could we not have the
We
technology to
create
create an
things,
actual ray
but then
gun?
we make them so highly priced that we can't afford them. Do you know what I mean? It's like there are flying cars, but who can afford it? There are lasers, but who can afford them?
Wait, they're flying cars?
Yeah, of course. You don't see these hover machines, like these hover bikes. You've never
I
seen
think the
any of
hover bikes.
these?
I do see the hover boards, but I guess that's using water propulsion when I'm on the lake when people are
Yeah,
on those
no, no.
hoverboards.
Those have
That's not.
like hoses into the water. That doesn't count. I'm talking about like some real. There are actually like They look like drones, but people sit on them and ride them around.
I guess that is true. Like a drone is a hovercraft. Why couldn't we make one? I mean, I guess that is the future. I always thought, I mean, the Jetsons, love that show. And half the time, I just really wish I lived in the Jetsons because why can't we just teleport and all the cars are like in the air? I also always just love the, I don't know, the food machine, you know, where it just like, I guess we kind of have those now though. Like you press
Food
the
machines?
machine. Well, I know we have food machines, but in the Jetsons, it was like, oh, like make me this breakfast. And it went bing. But
Oh
I
my
guess we have
gosh.
those now.
You know what happened this week?
What?
Apparently 12 tons of your favorite candy were stolen in Italy. Did you
Stop.
hear this?
No, stop it.
I
You're
there
not,
were
please don't say it was Kit
there were
Kats.
400,000 Kit Kat bars stolen in
400,000
Italy
Kit
on their way to
Kats?
Poland. Yes.
Whoa. So somebody intercepted and it, why was it
Which that
shipping?
turns
Did
into
you,
12 tons of Kit Kats, by the way.
okay, wait. First off, I have so many questions. First off,
Yeah.
does Italy produce Kit Kats? Why were they shipping from Italy to Poland?
I mean, maybe that's just the shipping route. I can't tell you. I'm not sure. Maybe
Interesting.
that's where the
Number
distribution
two,
center is.
I want to know what type of heist this was. I
Right.
want a
That's what I'm
movie.
saying.
I want a movie. I want a documentary of this heist because I want to know why. Why the Kit Kat? Is it like this feels personal? Like, you know, like I don't know that like do Kit Kats really get like sold on the black market? Is there some sort of value that we're not aware of? Is there a shortage somewhere? Have they created a shortage? I have so many questions.
How prevalent is the mafia in Italy these days?
I mean,
Is it
I
still a
can't.
thing?
I guess the mafia is a thing.
Okay.
The mafia is always a thing. You can't tell the Italians that there's not a mafia. Come on.
All right.
They're very insulted by this. They may be listening right now. They could come
Sheesh.
after
Well, I
you.
am very sorry and want no beef.
No beef. I also just want to know who has all the Kit Kats because, like, what do you do with it? How do you hide it?
400,000 of them? Yeah,
We need to follow. We need to follow this story. I need to
I'll
follow
do
this
my best, but
story.
my guess is they never find these Kit Kats. These are gone. These have been sold somewhere.
To who? To who?
I'd put them on a boat, take them over to Africa, and just sell them, move them.
Well, okay. So more on the Kit Kat story to follow. We'll be tracking it. Again, I really hope that there's like we're gonna have a full report, if possible. I'm gonna make it my mission to find out. Okay, I have to ask though. New
Hmm.
topic, because I just can't, I'm very distracted. I explain your shirt
No.
because I don't get it. And I
Oh, you
probably should, shouldn't I?
Brian, Kenny, Scarface, and Thurgood are the characters' names on Half Baked, which was Dave Chappelle's kind of breakout role. It's about four guys who all live together and they're all potheads. They all have different jobs or careers. And Kenny goes out to get all the snacks for that night. And he ends up feeding this horse, this police horse, and the police horse dies. And then Kenny's put in jail and they need to get this money to bail him out. And they're all broke. So Thurgood works as a janitor at this laboratory, and one of the scientists sends him downstairs to go pick up a pound of cannabis, but he doesn't know that, right? He goes and gets the cannabis and it's given to him, and he starts shaking and he's like freaking out. It's one of my favorite movies. I love the film so much. I can't tell you how many times I've watched it, and I still to this day fall down laughing every time I watch it. They sell cannabis to get their friend out of jail is basically what happens, but there's a bunch of things go wrong and it just doesn't work out in the way they thought it would.
All right, gotta be honest, haven't seen it.
What?
Sounds, I don't think I've seen it.
Wow, it's a cult
Which is,
classic. Cult classic.
but here's my question. You just said you laugh hysterically every time. Is this more than an average of one every 30-minute laugh movie?
Yeah, for me in that movie for sure. I'm laughing like every 3 minutes probably.
Every 3 minutes?
Something like that, yeah.
Oh man.
It's
I might have
loaded.
seen it maybe once, but I mean, again, I didn't understand the shirt reference, so.
Bob Saget has a very short role in his film where Thurgood goes to he's like at some AA meeting for like weed and drugs. So Bob Saget in that scene, I mean, this is when everyone only knows Bob Saget as the Full House Bob Saget, right?
So
I
this
mean,
was
for
his
most
standout
people,
moment
this is
to
kind of
be
his
like,
like his moment of like I'm beyond that role, right? Because I don't think anyone would. I don't know. He was just pigeonholed, but anyway, he stands up and goes, "Marijuana's not a drug. Have you ever sucked for marijuana?"
oh, that must have just shocked everyone. I loved Full House when I was a kid. I watched that show religiously.
Here it is. I found it.
I used to suck dick for coke. I seen him.
I've seen him. Oh man. Okay, so this sure does have a good story.
My fashion tells stories, whether that person is intelligent enough to know it or not. That's looking at me.
Are you calling me not intelligent because I didn't
No,
understand
no,
your
no,
shirt?
no, no. I'm just saying,
Ouch!
if somebody were to like rag
Ouch!
on my style for some reason, I'm just like, okay, well, you
Sounds
obviously
like you're
don't get
talking
it.
about
You're
someone in particular.
you're missing the whole point of pop culture at this point, my friend.
Mm, mm. Pop culture. Pop culture. I'm it makes me think of my like the first like album or like cassette tape I ever had, which for me, the first like music, I guess like the first almost music memory I have. That's interesting. Like the first music memory I have is the Diana Ross and the Supremes cassette tape.
A cassette.
It was a cassette tape
Hmm.
and it was Diana Ross and the Supremes. Like that was my first like music memory. Like that was my jam was Diana Ross and the Supremes.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah.
Mine, I actually have my very first vinyl. Do you want to see it?
Oh.
I actually have it right here. Was the Beatles.
Oh, that is a good first album. Which album is it?
Introducing the Beatles. Um, Basically, it has "I Saw Her Standing There," "Misery,"
Good
"Anna,"
song.
"Chains," "Boys," "Love Me Do," I love. "P.S. I Love You," "Baby It's You," "Do You Want to Know a Secret?" "A Taste of Honey," "There's a Place," "Twist and Shout." But I will tell you, "I Saw Her Standing There" literally got the needle ran through it. Loved that song when I was a little kid. I'm talking like 6, 7 years old here.
Yeah, I'm out for me too. I'm actually talking younger because I was in the condo when I remember this. So this had to be, well, it might have been like 5 or 6, or you're right at that. It had to be after four.
Yeah.
4 years old when I was in that
My
place. But I remember specifically driving, like pulling in to like in the parking spot, listening to that cassette tape. Not me driving, mom driving.
No, not
Not
driving.
not me driving, mom driving.
I can remember my second vinyl was George Harrison, a single for "Got My Mind Set on You," and it was a 45, so it was the smaller vinyl. Love that song. I used to play that song out too. I would drive people insane with that song. Loved the drums in it.
My
I can run through
next
all my tapes too. Like my first tape was Run DMC Raising Hell. I can remember that was like the first cassette I had. That was besides my dad's band. I had my dad's band at the time were called the Hard Times, and that was the first cassette I ever had. That I had on my own. But the Run DMC Raising Hell, and I can remember not too long after that getting like a Young MC, Stone Cold Rhymes. Those were the first two hip hop tapes I can remember having. And my first R&B tape was Bobby Brown, "Don't Be Cruel."
Oh,
Yeah, I played that till it popped too. I loved that. I mean, I was a suave little dude listening to Bobby Brown.
sounds like it. Suave little dude. I was in my living room with mom dancing to Paula Abdul quite a bit.
Oh, nice.
Quite a bit. There was definitely Paula Abdul parties. I'd say she really likes Squeezebox. We listened to some Toto for sure. ABBA. ABBA was big.
Oh, I bet in your house. I can imagine.
Well, that was me and mom both listening to it.
Do you remember what your
Both.
first CD was, or CDs, or?
That's what I'm saying. I think it was ABBA.
Oh, your first CD was ABBA,
Or not ABBA, sorry. Well, ABBA was definitely in there. Like I remember
or
like
like
ABBA
Paula
Gold
Abdul? You think?
album. Paula Abdul for sure.
I said
Definitely Paula
CD
Abdul.
or CDs because at that time when CDs were like coming into the mainstream, things like Columbia House were around, so you would order like 8 or 10 CDs to buy like 1 or 3 throughout the year, right? So I remember doing that, and I can recall like the first Columbia order of CDs I got was the Far Side, the Far Side's first album, Bizarre Ride to the Far Side was in there. Black Sheep's first album, the Beast. I got two Beastie Boys albums, Check Your Head and Ill Communication, which are two of my favorite albums still to this day. I know I got EMF in that order, which was this kind of like electro punk pop band from the UK, who I'm still kind of obsessed with. Like Rex Effect was in there. I can't recall all of them, but that's like some off the top that I can remember. Do
I
you remember
mean,
using Columbia House at all?
no, I remember going into like warehouse or places and buying CDs.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I don't think I ever, like, how did you, but I don't understand, how did you order them? Did we have,
It
I guess we
wasn't.
had internet.
No, no,
Did
no,
we,
no.
how
It
did you
would
order
come in a
them?
magazine. It would be in like the middle of a magazine or in TV Guide, in the
Oh yeah,
back of
this
TV
wasn't me.
Guide.
I didn't have this experience.
So you would just they would have a list of all the CDs you could order, and you would just check them off which ones you wanted, and then send it in. And then you'd have to send 1 cent or something like that, and then you get the CDs, and then throughout the year you would have to buy 3 or 4 CDs at normal price.
Oh, yeah, I never, no, never had the experience of really ordering anything off of magazines except for like magazines. I
Wow.
think I just remember going into like the stores and buying the CDs. I also recorded the radio a lot on like cassette tapes. Like I'd put you'd record like the radio. I'd record the radio. But then like I remember buying albums. I want to say one of the first like CDs I ever like bought for myself or something was the original Eminem album,
Hmm.
which I remember buying it. And at that time, adult censored or whatever. And like, I really just didn't expect it to be that. I don't know. I guess I was a little bit like, I don't know, like sheltered or something because I heard all like the swear words and I was like, oh my God.
Hmm.
I now have a different tune to it.
Two things is going back to what you said about recording using tapes to record the radio. I used to do that with WKYS in DC. So they had a show at night called The Live Squad, Pooch Man and The Live Squad. And I used to listen to that every night. Big shout out to 93.9 WKYS in DC. Big shout out to DJ CeeLo. He was just amazing, amazing DJ, on air DJ at the time, like mixing, doing crazy mixes on vinyl and like just jumping around the song. He really inspired me to learn how to jump around songs and like mix in at the middle or mix to points where it was, more hype or, get the crowd moving in a different manner. So I learned so much from WKYS back in the days. That was
Hmm.
DC all the way.
I definitely recorded Love Line with Dr. Drew and Adam Carolla. Like I loved listening to that Love Advice show. I actually called in once. And Andy Dick was the guest host and he called
Oh
me a
my.
sex addict. So shout out to
Whoa.
Andy Dick for calling me
Jeez.
a sex addict on radio.
Man, if Andy Dick's calling you a sex addict, jeez.
I think he was being a little harsh. I don't think my question warranted that response. But what do you expect?
Yeah.
What could you expect from there?
Oh, hey, coming up soon. I just want to put everybody on standby for this. The Roots Picnic has the whole roster or rundown or who's going to be there has been released. That takes place in Philadelphia, May 30th and 31st. It's called the Roots Picnic. It happens every summer. And this year they have Jay-Z. He's going to be performing with the Roots. And one of my favorite albums of all time, period, hands down, is Jay-Z Unplugged. If you've never heard Jay-Z Unplugged, the Roots play backup for him. Unbelievable. Just truly a great, great album and a really good listen. Erica Badu is going to be there. Kalani's going to be
Ooh,
there. Brandy's going to be there. DJ Jazzy Jeff will be on the wheels. Ti is going to be performing. De La Soul will be there. So that is
that's a
May
good
30th.
lineup.
Yeah, May 30th and 31st. The Roots Picnic, always a good time in Philadelphia.
I have only been to Philly once or twice. When I was young, when I used to live in New York, we took a school field trip to Philadelphia. We looked at all the America stuff like Liberty
Cool.
Bell and things like that. But
I
I don't
love
think
that
I've ever
stuff.
really gotten to experience like Philly as an adult, like the culture of Philly.
Well, maybe you're going to be on the East Coast, Lynn. So
I
I'm pretty sure I'm
will.
DJing in Philly that weekend. So, you know,
We're
maybe
gonna make
we'll
an
maybe we'll make
appearance.
an appearance
Make
at
an
the Roots picnic.
appearance.
Would love that.
Indeed. All right. Well, with that being said, I think that's our show.
All right.
All right. Well,
What a
thanks for
week
tuning
it's
in,
been.
everybody. What a
What
week.
a week.
What a week. So make sure to follow us on YouTube and Spotify at the Banana Time Podcast, on Instagram. Give us your comments, send in messages. We'll always shout you out. We want to hear from you. And thanks for listening. And again, next week I hope to have more information on this Kit Kat heist. I'm very intrigued.